Good day to you and welcome to another edition of Primetime Sportz. I'm David Shealy. We brought you some breaking news over the past few days about Georgia State's women's soccer team. They're looking for a new head coach. Reporter Caleb Johnson has more details.
After a successful run through the Sun Belt Conference tournament that led them just short of a championship last season, you would think that the women's soccer team would be focused on this upcoming spring season that starts in less than a month. But instead, the women's soccer team is worried about more important things, like finding a head coach. You heard that correctly. Women's soccer head coach Derek Leader is now former head coach as he looks to move on to another school and build his career. That leaves some rather large question marks around the program at this time. Coach Leader was scheduled to host a winter soccer camp here at GSU on February 21st for ladies ages 13 through 18, but now there can be no real expectation that he will attend. According to a source close to the team, the ladies have no plans of beginning practice until a new interim head coach, whether from inside the organization or outside, is put into place. Thankfully, the spring season is focused on scouting talent, as the Panthers will play other local universities in scrimmages that do not count towards any rankings. As far as talent goes, the Panthers have plenty to look forward to come this fall. Georgia State signed 7 new prospects to the team, all from the state of Georgia. Those ladies will begin their soccer career with the Panthers this summer. The current team looks to bring back 16 players from last season's accomplished team. Now, pertaining to the coaching situation, the open head coaching job for women's soccer has been put on Georgia State's official website. Primetime Sportz looks to give you any updates or new information as soon as we receive it. For Primetime Sportz, I'm Caleb Johnson.
On this story as more things develop. On Thursday night, both Georgia State's men's and women's basketball teams competed in Mobile, Alabama against the South Alabama Jaguars. The women's team committed 26 turnovers and shot less than 33% en route to a 83-45 drubbing at the hands of the Lady Jaguars. Star player Makiba Ponder took to Twitter following the game and had this to say, quote, "There's a difference in saying you got heart than showing you got heart. Hashtag just believe. What don't kill me makes me stronger." She goes on to say, quote, "I've never seen a coach fight so hard for 13 players and only 3 fight back for her. Hashtag, I'ma keep fighting." Redshirt junior Jeremy Hollowell recorded his first career double-double in the men's basketball game, totaling 22 points and 11 rebounds. However, his efforts weren't enough as the Georgia State Panthers fell to South Alabama 79-78 in overtime. For more on both the women's and men's basketball games, check out the latest episode of Primetime Sportz Talk. Georgia State's head baseball coach is heading to the German Baseball and Softball Hall of Fame. Reporter Nathan Nair gives you the full story.
Shortly before the 2016 season begins, Coach Greg Frady of the baseball team received news that he will be inducted into the German Baseball Hall of Fame. Coach Frady's induction ceremony will take place on July 31st at the 2016 Bundesliga All-Star Game in Bad Homburg, Germany. After joining the team in 2004, Frady led the German baseball team all the way to 4th place in the European Championship, which was their best finish in decades. His most recent accomplishment was leading the 2010 baseball team to a bronze medal, which was their first medal in 35 years. It was apparent that Coach Frady was honored to receive this distinction, but being able to have an influence on the game he loves at an international level is what he holds pride in the most.
It's a great honor. I think anytime someone remembers your work, you're really proud of that. I didn't set out to be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm very honored, I'm humbled, I feel very privileged to be considered for something like that. And on top of that, internationally, reaching so many people, I've considered myself a baseball ambassador through the years, sharing the game that I love with others. Again, that intent wasn't to be recognized, but I'm glad that people like what we did and will remember that.
One would think that Coach would be bringing back an abundance of baseball knowledge to his team at Georgia State. But in reality, it was the basic things that we hold close as humans on a day-to-day basis.
Well, you know, a lot of what I learned wasn't really about baseball. It was about how all of us as human beings are so much more alike than different, and how cultures change from place to place, yet the people are all the same. People care about their family. They care about having a nice job to make the money to feed their family. They care about relationships. What you give is what you get, and that seems to be the same language no matter where you go and no matter what dialect is being spoken.
Coach is entering his 10th season as head coach of the baseball team. GSU has been ranked to finish 6th in the Sun Belt preseason rankings. As a coach, Frady says that you have to look at it from both sides and work to improve as the season opener arrives.
I mean, I think it's a starting spot for anyone, but if you're a coach, you're looking at it like, well, that's a lot of respect to be ranked up that high, and that's a lot of ground to cover because we're ranked that low. So I think, as a coach, you can spin it any way you want to. For me, it's somewhere in the middle. We lost a lot of really good players last year, so a lot of the coaches don't know our new guys, but they will. And we have a core group of young men that's returning as all conference players, and people know them. But I think we have some others that's going to make their way through time and will be considered for that level of honor as well.
Coach Frady is being recognized for his 11 years of service, not only with the baseball team, but the softball team as well. Just in case you forgot, I'm here to remind you that you need to mark your calendars for February 19th. That's when this baseball team will be taking on Western Michigan here at Panthersville at 4 p.m. For Primetime Sports, I'm Nathan Ayer.
Thank you, Nathan. From the big diamond to the small, the Georgia State softball team kicks off their 2016 season this weekend as they head to Arizona to compete in 5 games as part of the Kajikawa Classic. The first game will be tonight at 9 p.m. versus the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks. Also competing this weekend will be the women's tennis team. They head to South Carolina to take on the 29th-ranked Gamecocks as well as Furman. The team encourages us to follow them on Twitter at GSUWTennis for updates throughout the weekend. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all the latest Georgia State sports news. Like us on Facebook at Primetime Sportz and follow us on Twitter at Prime Sports. And don't forget, it's sports with a Z. I'm David Shealy. You have a great week.